look at this. It's mind-blowing what Airbnb revenue for the 12 months ending September 30th was, or last year 2023 was 9.6 billion, with an increase of 19.57% increase on year, and compared to 2021 they were up by 40.17%. Simple person like you and I just enjoying the Airbnb business model and daily, and I work with clients all over the world, so I get to use the platform on a daily basis. There's millions of users worldwide, there's millions of property registered in Airbnb worldwide, and actually as a Airbnb as a whole, they're really leveraging the process. They're really leveraging people like yourself and myself, my clients, who are really trying to make it worthwhile, because in a bigger picture this is everything. So hey, if you're new to this channel, my name is Piers from GrowYourBnb.com. I've worked with over 3,500 properties all over the world, and today I'm the usual guy who comes in YouTube, shares you a lot of success, fun, and we don't sell mentorship or training programs, so you can really enjoy the process in our channel. And I really want to talk about some of the minor things you and I, small hosts, should be able to take advantage of. And more importantly, I think the business is evolving. The Airbnb model, the short-term rental model in the UK, I've been pushing people to start short-term letting agency, because we want to be in a position where I've always asked any clients, what if Airbnb shuts, it's not going to happen, but what if it shuts down tomorrow? What if booking.com's shut down tomorrow? Where does your brand stay? How will it move forward? It doesn't matter where you are in the world. I've got people watching from US, I've got people watching from Canada, Dubai, India, Australia, and you might be one of them thinking, Piers, you are right. I don't really exist apart from being on the OTA and feeding Airbnb all the revenue you can. So one of the exercises I've been doing with my client, and I think it would be amazing if you want to do it with me, write down what commission did you pay to Airbnb in the last 12 months, especially if you're already operating an Airbnb business. You should know this. Like 90% of operators who are just simple, started their business, they really don't track their Airbnb commission. And one of the things you've realized is that Airbnb really don't promote that, because they don't want you to see how much commission they've paid at the end of the year. They just want you to work on a growth by growth basis while you're getting those bookings. So let's stop this video, and I'd love you to go into your Airbnb account and write down the commission you've paid. So let me give you a perspective right now, right? So you can see from my screen, the typical UK host on Airbnb earns just over £6,000, and yeah, so it talks about boost is in an income, and more importantly then stuff like that. But amazing how they want to obviously talk about different style of marketing and stuff like that. But you think about, let me hold it back and go £6,000 times by 12 months, and then now I'd like you to effectively look at 18%, so it's 15% plus VAT, around about 18% on service fee. So now that is £12,960 on 18% if someone is solely relying, as what it says right now here, on Airbnb itself. So now it takes into perspective, there's millions of properties currently live on Airbnb. Now for me, I think that number, working with different sort of rent-to-rent clients, obviously my clients are people who generally do rental arbitrage or leasing their property out, or leasing a property from a landlord and reletting out. So it's a different model, right, depending on what part of the world you are. For me, that is a lot of money that Airbnb is currently making averagely from units per unit in the UK. Hence why, again, going back to how much revenue they've made for the year, it totally makes sense. And for me right now, later on in the video, I want to mix it up around understanding a bit of direct bookings, understanding a bit of guest behavior, because I think they're the two important part, but also it falls down to the average length of stay per client, because that becomes a big deal in your calendar. So let's talk about direct bookings, because I think in my channel, if you've seen over the last 2 years, I've made numbers of videos around direct bookings. And more importantly, I think every year I've sat down with different clients, different size of business. They all have one problem. So, oh, Piers, yes, we are doing okay. Yes, we're not doing okay. We don't do any ads. And I sit down and go, okay, there's a problem. problem, and that's what we need to fix first. Now, with the direct booking, I think my first question to you is, do you have enough market presence online apart from Airbnb and Booking.com? So, i.e., can I go into Google and find you? Can I find your website? Can I find you in partner affiliate websites where they don't charge as much as commission, or they charge you a flat fee to put your property in, or they put a markup on the actual nightly rate you offer? Because that all makes a huge difference in your bottom line. That also falls back to the direct bookings, because the direct bookings is what's going to bring you that increased revenue, because we're talking about that £12,960 commission we're paying. Even if we save that half the percentage, right? So we're not talking about we're taking all over and we're going to do so well. No, we're not saying that. We're saying, how do we minimize that cost? And I've learned over the last 18 months or so, I spend a lot of time understanding every bookings, especially the longer term bookings, because I always say to my clients, please ask your guests why they're staying with you. What is their guest behavior? Are they relocating? And if so, why have they chosen your property over 50 other properties in that kind of little radius? So then it starts becoming more fun, because you're understanding guest behavior and you're understanding what words, right, that makes them convert to your listing. And it's so fascinating. I've done it before with some of our clients. Listing on last minute booking is my favorite one, where there's a gap that we need to fill in last minute. There's certain words we use, and I'm a big fan of Amazon and their way of listings, and how they've obviously, everyone uses Amazon, right? And you might not think right now, but Amazon has a very creative way of their listing products. As a result of that, you and I as a buyer, we're buying those products because of how easy, how well they've laid out their actual listings. Is effectively another listing just for a product. So I think combine those together: direct booking, guest behavior, and lastly, the lead time. Because when you're thinking about longer term booking, especially in the UK, we know that our ideal guest behavior can be a relocation client, because they're generally staying with you for long term. When they do that, what happens is your calendar should be available to them. Now, what that means is, if you're doing that 3-night stay at the middle of the month, you effectively will never be found on the searches, because you're already booked. So then it becomes more creative around, going back to today's video, like the sales growth for your Airbnb business. It's just not Airbnb, but it's your short-term rental business. And in 2024, you can see like how much I enjoy talking about it. I really have had opportunities to work with new starters. I've worked with giants in the business, right, with over 400 properties, and I'm always sitting down with them and like trying to understand why they're doing what they're doing. And effectively, most of the time they're so sucked into the Airbnb, the Booking.com, the OTA method, that really haven't given them the opportunity to rank well long term. So they're the 3 things I really want you to take away from today's video. Direct bookings: where can people see you? How many times can people see you? Guest behavior: who is your ideal guest behaviors? Write down the list of those people and write down their potential length of stay. I would love you to crack on with that after this video. As usual, guys, I hope you have enjoyed another Grow Your BnB video. In our recent videos, I'm trying to really put down information that hasn't been spoken before. I'm trying to make sure that anyone who starts Airbnb and short-term renter business, you're really taking time to understand the process. And if you're watching this video till now, I would love you to do 2 things for me. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. I'd love to engage with you more. I'd love you to ask me more questions on the comments. Feel free to ask me as many questions as you want, and I'd love to connect with you guys. So thank you so much for watching another Grow Your BnB video, and I'll be back with another video soon.